This is the ultimate step-by-step process for achieving goals. What is up, my winning friend? My name is Zach and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here and you want the best tips on how to crush your goals and dominate life, make sure you hit subscribe, tap the bell notifications, that way you don't miss anything. And I hope you're ready because this is this is the ultimate step-by-step process on achieving goals. Let's go. Let's not even play around with it. Let's get straight into step one. Step one is all about creating your legacy. We call it review the end result. All right, so we're going to review the end result. What is it that we want to achieve in life? And the best way to do this is to simply visualize your funeral and visualize what do you want your family, friends, and coworkers to say about your character, contributions, and achievement in life. The answers to this question, if you actually do this visualization process, are your true core values. They are your true definition for success. These are your strong reasons why you must do something. This is what's going to keep you motivated through all the hard and tough times and days where you don't feel motivated. You think about, oh, why am I doing this? Oh, now I'm motivated. So we got to get crystal clear on this. This is the driving motivational factor for you. And this is what's going to allow you to create that legacy that lives on after you die. If that's something that you want to do, hopefully that motivates you, because I know that's one of the most motivational factors in myself. Boom, this is a way to do it. After you get crystal clear on that, then we're going to break down our goals into 4 simple categories. 1, personal development, that is relationships, physical health goals, things that you want to learn, books that you want to read, things and sorts of that nature. 2 is going to be our business and career goals. How much money do you want to make a year? What kind of business do you want to start? What type of investments do you want to make? What do you want to do in your career? Things of that nature. So the third of them is adventure and toys. So where do you want to visit in your lifetime? What kind of activities and adventures do you want to do when you go these places? What kind of car and house do you want? What type of boat do you want? We might make those goals down too. And the 4th and final, and probably the most important, which is to me the most important, is your contribution goals. What do you want to contribute to society? What do you want to be remembered by? How do you want to help push humanity forward? So make goals in all 4 of these. I would make, at the bare minimum, 3 to 4 goals in each one of those 4 categories after you do that visualization experience exercise, and make them congruent with the values and the core values and the true definitions of success. Make them congruent so that your friends and family members and coworkers will actually say these things about you at your funeral. Boom, that's step number 1. Step number 2 is utilize your potential. All right, so this is very important as well. After we make those 4 goals that are congruent with our core values, now we're going to take these goals and we're going to maximize our potential by at least timesing them by 10. We got to ask ourselves, the best way to do this is to ask yourself, if I knew that I could not fail, if there was no chance of me failing, what would I go for in life? And whatever the answers to those questions are, go for them. A goal should scare you and also excite you at the same time. If we're just going for average goals, we're going to get average results, and it's not going to really mean much to us. It's not going to provide us with enough motivation to actually follow through with these goals. And to be quite honest with you, if you look up the word average, I don't want anything to do with that. Mediocre, like everyone else, nothing significant. I don't want to do anything to do with average, all right? I want to live an extraordinary life. I want everything that life has to offer. And the only way to get that is by going all in and raising the standards high. Boom, that's step number 2. Step number 3, we are going to break it down into bite size. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these crazy big goals that we just said that we maximize our potential on, that are also in line with our core values and the top goals that we set, our long-term goals. We're going to break them down now into manageable, actionable steps. So a lot of us don't end up taking action because we feel overwhelmed, because we're like, oh my God, I don't even know where to start with that goal. But if we take the goal and we call it chunking, and we chip away at it day by day, then over time we will be successful. So the best way to do this is on a weekly and daily basis. So we take the big goal, the long-term goal, the end result goal that we have in whatever category it is, and then we ask ourselves, what is the next best step that I could take that will bring me closer to this goal? And then we set goals on a weekly basis for each category that we have. We have goals in each category of the 4, and then we schedule time throughout our week so we can get to each category. So it's going to be hard to do all 4 categories in one day. It's possible, but it's better to schedule your week with these goals. Then our daily goals are going to be consistent with our weekly goals, and we're going to schedule time to get each thing done. And then the best way to do this is to do the 80-20 rule, to spend 80% of your time on the top 20% of activities that will give you the greatest return on investment. And the best way to do that is to figure out which of the activity that you could take will give you the best return to achieving your goal. And do that by asking yourself, what am I currently doing what am I not doing right now that if I did it on a consistent basis would bring me positive, tremendous impact in life? So the answer to those questions is usually something that is very important, but it's not urgent. And most of us spend our time in matters that are urgent and important. So those are like crisis, deadline driven projects, stuff that has to be done right now. And because things are not urgent but they're important, we don't get to them because they're not urgent. We could put them off, right? So if we actually spend more time in the matters that are important and not urgent, we can drastically eliminate a lot of the urgent and important matters. Like examples of important but not urgent matters are working out, eating healthy, setting goals, searching opportunities, working on our relationships. If we spent time in these matters, we can drastically limit a lot of these crisis and urgent matters. If we worked out all the time, we could eliminate a lot of our health problems and so on. If we worked on our relationships a lot of times, we would avoid a lot of the relationship problems that we have. So boom, there you have it. Spend times in matters that are important but not urgent, and drastically limit the less. Crush it. That's step number 3. Step number 4 is forecast future success. Simple enough, and a lot of people think it's ridiculous, but use your imagination, visualize. That's how you make a thought a reality. That everything is created first in the mind before it's created in real life. The computer, the desk, all that stuff, first someone thought about it, then they created it. If anybody, like Tom Brady, it's got 5 Super Bowl rings right now. He visualizes stuff in his mind first, like world-class athletes do this, doctors, top executives, salesmen, all that use visualization to bring the unintangible to tangible results. So simply every day visualize the end result, how that would feel to you if you actually accomplish that goal. That's the key right there, and do it every single day. You don't have to do it at a specific time, and you don't have to do it in any specific way like setting up and meditate and all that. No, just visualize yourself and think about it compulsively, obsessively. The more you think about it and visualize it, the more real it's going to be, because our brains cannot tell the difference between a real and imagined experience. Our brain and nervous system cannot tell the difference. So if you visualize yourself being successful and how that would feel, you're creating these neural pathways in your brain, and you will bring it into a reality if you take action, which we're going to get into in the next step. That was step number 4. Step number 5 is do the work and distribute pain and pleasure. So this is so simple. Take action, do the work. And then a lot of us don't take action because of these 4 reasons. Because we want to procrastinate, we're perfectionists, we fear, or we just feel overwhelmed. So the reasons why all those happen is because we're not distributing pain and pleasure appropriately. And what I mean by that, we make all of our decisions based off of 2 things. Our desire to gain pleasure and our need to avoid pain. So if we distribute the pain and pleasure appropriately, if we link pain and pleasure appropriately to taking the action now and not taking it now, we can actually take action. The only reason why somebody procrastinates is because they link more pleasure to putting it off for later and pain to doing it right now. That's the only reason why. So if you say, I have to do this now, ask yourself pain and pleasure inducing questions. How will I feel like if I do not try and accomplish this goal? How will I feel if I do accomplish it? How will I feel if I give it all my effort? You know, if you ask yourself these pain and pleasure inducing questions, they can spur that action that you need to take to make it happen. And once you start taking this action, you'll start gaining momentum. You can take these little baby steps like we talked about in step 3, and by doing that, you kill the fear and you start gaining momentum, and it becomes habit. So we got to get out of our comfort zone, take the action, and link that pain and pleasure appropriately by asking pain and pleasure inducing questions. That is step number 5. Step number 6, and we are out of here. Learn what is and isn't working and change your approach until you find success. Simple, man. So like when insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. How many of us do that with our goals? Like, we're so persistent and so fired up, and we just keep trying and keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting us to finally succeed, and then nothing happens, and then we quit and change our goal. That's backwards. We got to be stubborn with our goals and flexible with our approach. So we have to notice what is and isn't working, and then we got to change our approach until we find success, like Thomas Edison did with the light bulb. He tried it over 1,000 different approaches until he found the right one. So how you do this? Ask yourself, what if this isn't working like this, then what else could I do to bring me closer to that goal? You know, asking that question focuses your attention on what you need to, and you get the answers by asking yourself those questions. Ask yourself, how can I overcome this? What's the best next step I could take? Ask questions of that nature that's going to help you find different ways to attack the problem until you find success. And last but not leastly, when you get close to achieving your goal, always raise the standard and set more goals, because we are only happy and fulfilled in life when we have a worthwhile goal to aim for. So when we get closer to the goal, set new ones and raise the bar. Life is all about development and about growth. The moment that we stop growing, we start dying. It's true with everything. A tree grows until the day it stops growing, then it's dead. All right. Same with humans. We grow throughout our entire life. Even when we stop growing in height, our body produces thousands and thousands and thousands of new cells every single day. We are constantly growing. The moment that we stop growing, we are dead. So always be in a growth mindset. And that's what's going to bring you true happiness and true fulfillment in life. If you thought these tips were fire, I hope you did, because this is what helped me get over drug addiction and overcome 5 years of my life that I spent in prison to become a responsible father and a successful entrepreneur. Check out the whole process, download it for free right here, and I urge you to not just read it and learn the concepts, but to actually do it. Like, do step number 1, visualize it, then write down what you got from the visualization, and then actually write down the goals, and then go on to the next step, and the next, and the next. Do it. It feels good to do it. And when you do it, it's going to give you that momentum, and you're going to start learning these concepts, and you're going to start dominating your goals. So I encourage you to do it, like Nike or whatever. Yeah. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, and if you feel like I'm giving you value in this channel is assisting you, is serving you, and helping you crush your goals and dominate your life, I just ask that you hit subscribe, because that would make me really, really happy, and tap the bell notifications. That way you don't miss anything. And as always, my winning friend, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Till then, see you later.